go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live.
Good Saturday morning. Happy start to the new year, H-Town. I'm KHOU Meteorologist Kim Castro. New year, new weather pattern. So let's get you ready for it. Bottom line is what you're experiencing right now. We're going to do a complete 180 tomorrow. So get ready. Having a look at current conditions, it's breezy out there. Did you notice that? Things are rattling around in the backyard. Maybe you brought in some of that patio furniture, definitely some of the cushions. They're blowing around. 20-mile-an-hour wind right now in Sugar Land, just dropped down to 16. Wharton, you're at 20 miles an hour still. Tomball getting close to that. Huntsville right around 15 miles an hour. We're going to continue to feel breezy throughout the day. Windy again for tomorrow, but a very different kind of wind. We'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, we are breezy, we are muggy, we've got this kind of soupy day ahead of us. Lots of moisture still out there. We've got southerly wind pumping in that Gulf moisture. Current check at temperatures, boy oh boy, we're approaching the 12 o'clock hour and it is incredibly warm. Low 80s almost across the board. 80 degrees right now at Bush, 82 at Hobby, 83 at Hobby is the last record. So you probably guessed it. We're going to see another record-breaking day. Cleveland 80 degrees, Sugar Land 82, Columbus here at 80 degrees. Now to the south, still scraping the upper 70s. Wharton here at 79, Palacios is 78. All right, let's talk records because we are starting off the new year with record-breaking heat, and that's not going to last very long whatsoever. Yeah, we got that big cold front to talk about in a little bit. 79 is where Galveston has already jumped up to. The last record was 76 degrees, so we've shattered that. We're going to continue to shatter records because, yeah, the 83 degrees, the last record at Hobby, we're forecasting 87. So temperatures this afternoon pushing into the mid-80s almost across the board. Some spots even getting close to that 90-degree marker, which is berserk to say for the start of January. Bush, you're looking to get up to 84 degrees. The last record was 81, set back in 2006. The weather headlines for today. While we are breezy, while we are warm, while we are rather comfortable, although on the warm side, it's going to be a jarring contrast compared to what we wake up tomorrow. That's because we've got a big front pushing through, bringing us some Arctic air, some continental polar air from the north. And that is going to drop our temperatures into the 30s. You can even see on our sky cam right now, it is very, very breezy out there today. There's a look at current temperatures, at least area-wide. We're holding in the low 80s, taking a step back, looking at the statewide map. You can see the leading edge of that front pretty well defined there. Just look at Amarillo. 18 degrees right now. El Paso already breaking into the low 50s. And we're going to see that push through overnight into tomorrow, and that's what's going to bring us the very brisk start to our January 2nd. An even wider look shows us at least we're not in Minnesota. Negative 18 degrees for the northern portion of the state. Minneapolis is at negative 6. The wind chill value this morning felt like negative 36 degrees. I confirmed that with the meteorologist there this morning. My gosh. North Dakota in the negative territory, in the single digits towards Montana, and all of that cold air is going to filter into us. Now, we're not going to experience that type of cold, but certainly unseasonably cold, even for winter. Now we're starting to get well below normal, even well above normal. Now we're going to see a shift in the opposite direction. But you saw that divide, the cold air with the warm air. Anytime we see such a stark contrast like that, we deal with severe weather. So let's start with the wintry mix there. All the areas in pink behind that snow, that's indicative of winter storm warnings. The purple there, that's a winter weather advisory. And then as we get towards the convective look here, so this is the thunderstorms, all of the yellow and the orange that you see there, that's very, very unsettled weather, which is why we're seeing severe thunderstorm warnings popping up in Tennessee, in Kentucky. We're seeing some of that severe weather pushing up into Chicago, Indiana, Ohio. There's even tornado warnings there. Tornado watches, tornado warnings, flash flood watches, flash flood warnings. Lots of severe weather to watch for as the front pushes through. Now we are on the very, very tail end of that front. So what that means for us, most of us won't even see any wet weather. There is an isolated chance for a spotty shower passing through with that front sweeping in, but otherwise our impacts will be the cold. And we've got warnings already anticipating that cold moving in, not only overnight for tomorrow morning, but as we get into Monday morning, things are going to get even more chilly. So let's get right to it. First, we've got that freeze warning for our north and western counties. That's until 9 o'clock on Sunday. Those temperatures dropping into the teens for some spots. For the Houston metro area, we're going to see the 20s. So it's going to be a very, very chilly start to the day. A freeze watch for Monday morning. As I mentioned, temperatures will continue to drop. And so that extends all the way to the coast. Everybody waking up to some very chilly conditions as we head into Monday. So let's already talk about it. The 3 P's: people, pets, and plants. There are 4 pipes, part of that, but we don't really have to worry about that with this cold blast. Just the 3: people, pets, and plants. Check in on your neighbors, the people, make sure they've got a good heating system going on. Bring them anything they might need, blankets, things of that sort. Pets, if you typically have them outdoors, bring them inside. Plants, if you can bring them inside, bring them inside. If you got to cover them up, cover them up. Now let's get to the timing of the front. Okay, this is 3 o'clock this afternoon. We already saw the cold air getting into the Panhandle and western Texas. It's going to continue to filter in. As we head into the overnight hours, let's stop the clock there. 1 o'clock in the morning, from Del Rio all the way up into Louisiana, we're going to see that line of cold air pushing through. Austin, 48 degrees by the time we are headed into the overnight hours. Tyler, Texas, 39 degrees. Now let's continue to fast forward through time. That's a snapshot of 7 o'clock in the morning. Already temperatures now dip down into the 30s for Houston. In addition to that, we're going to be dealing with some wind. Strong wind, strong shot of cold air. That mixture together means we're going to be experiencing some very low wind chill values. So while actual temperatures will be waking up in the 30s, feels like conditions will be in the 20s and in the teens, especially for the northern counties. All right, future track wind speeds this afternoon. We continue to feel a strong breeze, but it's not from the north. It's once we see that shift in wind direction with the passing of the front that we really get the bitterly cold, dry air. And it's going to be gusty. So that cold, dry air hitting you in the face, not a good combination. I know lots of us have New Year's resolutions to be more active. That's mine every year. So you might be, trying to get on your bikes, trying to go for a run. Bikes are going to be hard tomorrow, even today, because of the wind. And the runs are going to be very challenging tomorrow. You want to make sure you are really dressed accordingly, especially from such a divergence for what we're seeing today. It's just a complete departure of feeling. Okay, future track wind speeds. We're waking up to right around 20 to 25 mile an hour wind speeds, and these are wind speeds, not even wind gusts. So this is sustained wind, and we're going to continue to experience that through the late morning and into the afternoon. By 6 o'clock, winds start to die down. We're in the teens there. And Galveston's still a bit breezy, but for the most part, we are going to see wind speeds start to subside. Now let's get to the reality of the situation. Wind with a cold means Futurecast feels like temperatures look like this. Overnight already, Bush feeling much more chilly than we have been the last couple of nights. Overnight lows have only been dipping down in the low to mid 70s. Now we're going to be feeling like the mid 60s at noon. Fast forward through time a little bit. Now we're in the low 50s by very early Sunday morning. 51 degrees at Bush. Look at College Station, upper 20s. 29 degrees is what it's going to feel like at 4:30 in the morning if you're up that early. 30 degrees in Huntsville, 34 for Livingston, Cleveland, 39, Dayton, 42. All right, let's start the clock again. 6:30 in the morning, 36 degrees at Bush. Tomball getting close to the freezing mark, Conroe below the freezing mark, Cleveland below the freezing mark, 20s for Livingston and Huntsville. College Station feels like 18 degrees for you. Still holding on to a little bit of warmth at the coast, the low 40s, you can call it a little bit of warmth, low 50s for Galveston. All right, let's take the clock up again. 9:30, that's going to be pretty much the coldest point of the day for our Sunday morning. Feels like 29 degrees at Bush, feels like 24 at Tomball. Pretty much, with the exception of the coast, no one's really escaping the feels like freezing and below freezing feel for our Sunday. Galveston feels like 38. That's at 9:30 in the morning. College Station feels like the teens, 14 degrees. Brenham also in the teens, 16 degrees is what it's going to feel like. Columbus 20, El Campo 25. Bush, like I talked about, 29. Tomball 24. So it is going to be an extremely chilly day. And 44 degrees is going to be the daytime high for tomorrow. But like we talked about, with the wind chill value, that's really going to just feel like the mid-30s. So that's why it's important to pay attention to the feels like forecast as opposed to the actual temperature forecast for tomorrow, because you might be thinking to yourself, boy, it feels much colder than that. And you're right, it is going to be much colder than that. Okay, we do have a slight chance for a little isolated shower with the front, but for the most part, the biggest concern is just going to be the cold with that passing through. Going to be even chillier, like we talked about Monday morning. Monday afternoon, highs start to rebound a little bit into the mid-50s. That's still well below normal. 63 degrees is where we should be for this time of year. Going to feel very seasonable for Tuesday. But then temperatures ramp up quickly. We're going to be in the mid-70s by Wednesday, and then another shift coming through. We're going to see the passing of another front for the end of the work week. Temperatures starting to drop. Pretty seasonable Thursday, a couple degrees above normal for this time of year, and then getting into the upper 50s by Friday. Bottom line is, you're going to have to keep up with the forecast, because we've been doing really rinse and repeat types of forecasts for the last couple of weeks. For the most part, you really know what to expect. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. That's not the case for the first week of 2022. We've got a mixed bag, a roller coaster temperature forecast. So as always, be sure to stay with us here online and on your TV screens. We'll see you back here tonight at 6 and at 10. And as always, have a wonderful Saturday and happy start to the new year.